That's not what I wanted. I almost played the Joe Rogan podcast on my for the starting music. We're live. We're the cold starting right now. With the mic.
Planning on getting the Xbox One or PS5?
I have a PC now. I ain't no simp.
Yes, thank you.
Just
Saw
kidding.
pictures of all the people today posting, they got their Xbox. They're like, oh, I'm so glad I got it. Look, I got it.
No, we'll get an Xbox for sure, cause Ashton needs something to play on.
Dude, Game Pass is so crazy right now.
I don't want to buy a second PC though. For to play like COD and stuff. COD's taxing. It is.
You know how much hard drive space?
It's not the hard drive space. It's graphically. You want anything above 30 frames, you need to drop like 600-700 on a PC.
I think I saw the new
Don't
3080 is gonna be there's like between AMD and Nvidia right now they're in a total war. They're slugging it out. Just gotta get more of those cards on the market.
Yeah, I heard there's a couple bugs with them right now.
Yeah, a lot of driver stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just super happy to get Halo multiplayer on PC.
Same.
I still have my Xbox One. It's literally sitting in a closet. I haven't touched it more recently, especially with Master Chief Collection coming out on PC. Like, I'm not at all excited about the new console launches. It doesn't. I don't know. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's time.
It's been almost 10 years, man.
Yeah, doesn't seem like it.
It's about right. It's about time. I just feel like this current generation of consoles has lasted like pretty good. We haven't felt like, oh, we need a new console, because everything looks really good on it. But I think now it just comes down to frame rate.
Yeah, I think the other thing too was like when I first started back in the day, when I first was with gaming generations, it was all PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360s, and that was back before all fighting games shifted over to PlayStation. So we were slinging around more Xbox 360s than we were anything else. And then when it finally, like the Xbox One came out, we did that for Halo and Killer Instinct, but then everything else switched over to PlayStation, and it was like, okay, here's PS4s, and that life cycle seemed like it lasted forever. Like every major fighting game was played on PS4, and so now it's like, well, okay, now the new consoles are coming out, but there's nothing. I don't know. There's really nothing to look forward to console exclusive that I'm aware of. So
I would have jumped on getting an Xbox right away if Halo released with it.
Yeah, it's kind of odd with everything being a lot of the newer first generation console games are they're still a ways out.
Well, it's like the biggest game that's releasing is Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and COD. COD doesn't release for 3 more days. But But if even
really
then,
only,
there's
only
no
3 days?
reason
I
to
thought it
jump
was-
on the Xbox.
Man, I'm way behind. It's deeper in November. I was thinking it was, better than it feels.
Remind me to give you all the login info for the Twitch and the YouTube stuff. So I think we should jump on the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah, we'll do.
Oh, you're being so needy right now. Or pause out. Trying to grab me. You can't even see Luke. Luke is on Ashton's. On Ashton, but you can barely see him.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Blends-
just the
blends
collar
in.
popping out there. So crazy.
So, we'll talk about that after. We'll talk about this after.
Ooh.
Our mics are live right now. Can't say nothing about that.
The juice.
Still Pokemon cards, huh?
Yeah, Pokemon
What is
cards.
up with that?
Everybody's buying. They're more powerful than stocks right now. Apparently, people are buying more Pokemon cards than they are gold.
But no one's getting the
Backed by
return
the-
of investment on it. It's all for stream clout.
Oh man, dude, I've seen so many people now. They're literally just they stopped streaming games and they're just streaming themselves opening packs of Pokemon cards. They're like, I bought a case of brand new booster cards. I will say, what I like people are doing is you can buy in. So
Yeah.
like you buy in and it's like, hey, it's like $10 a pack, whatever it is. But then what they do is they do like a draft afterwards. So it's like, hey, here's all the cards I opened up on stream. This person gets first dibs because that was the lottery. This is how it works. And now they get to pick, what card do you want? So it's kind of this weird, almost like gambling. Obviously, like opening a pack of cards is gambling, right? Like you're gonna get the $1,500 Charizard, or you're gonna get the $2
Charizard.
Chansey. Like you have no holofoil.
I'm so
You have
I'm
no
so
idea.
sad my mom threw away all my Gen 1 cards.
I actually found my brother's Charizard that he had put in a hard sleeve and in an acrylic case, and I gave it to him the other day. I was like,
Get it grading?
no, I talked with him about it, but apparently Beckett now is they want, or who is it? Oh, PSA. PSA, you have to send in at least, I think it's like 20 cards. You can't just have a single card graded.
I would have had so much money if my mom would have just not thrown away my cards, because they were all in binders. They were all like hard case. I know.
You should show her. You should take screenshots.
Dude,
I've
tried to explain to her. I've tried to explain this to her, and she has zero remorse. Zero. And she threw away all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all my first generation Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I don't think first generation Yu-Gi-Oh cards are really worth anything.
Some of them
though,
are
because
worth a lot.
Have you ever tried looking at the ban list? You ever tried looking at the errata for playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's wild.
It's so dumb.
Alright, it's time. Oh wait, I forgot to put the episode number. Wait, that's the timer. Wait, what's going on? Help.
Episode 3, episode 2, episode 1.
We're in episode 7 already. Can you believe it's in 7 weeks of this?
It's honestly, it's been flying right by doing this with you.
I know.
I can believe it.
So we're gonna hop in. I'm refreshed. This is Mohawkmike. We're gonna hop right in. Welcome to episode 7 of the LFTG Podcast / talk show, but it's podcast for the sake of naming things. And we're gonna open right up with some very sad news that we got earlier today. One of my favorite Call of Duty players, and someone that I've kind of had an eye out for a very long time, Pharaoh, passed away at the age of 21. today. So I just want to kind of go over the history of his high placings. He's been having high placings ever since World War II. You have some ghosts. He won 3 CDL events this last year, multiple GB events. He's on teams like 100 Thieves, TK, Florida, obviously. A couple of amateur teams, GZ, Rec back in World War II, Doom in World War II, which is one of his breakout business, which is a throwback. So yeah, super sad to see such a young talent pass away and kind of be taken away from us. We do know that it wasn't through self-harm. It was something maybe that happened naturally. I don't know if he had a pre-existing medical condition. But this one kind of hit me hard tonight. This was definitely an up-and-coming player. Had a lot to prove. I know a lot of people look down on Pharaoh as a player and as a teammate, but I think this season really showed that Pharaoh could step up, be a leader, and be someone that was impactful in the game, but also in the Call of Duty scene as a whole. And I feel great sadness tonight to even be talking about it. It's the last thing that you would think would ever happen coming from the scene with players at such a young age.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year, throughout all of 2020, even, with all the craziness of the pandemic and everything. And, we also just had Alex Trebek pass as well. People, especially within esports, everybody's just, we're also young. I'm only 33 years old. I don't think of losing any other community members or anything else, even with as crazy as things are right now. So obviously very saddened by this news. Somebody that had all but basically secured their position for longevity within the CDL and just overall gaming in general. It's very sad. I wish all the best to the family and all the fans in this difficult time. And hopefully, we saw it with Internet Hulk, who passed away right before the actual formation of the Overwatch League. Hopefully, the Call of Duty League will do something in his honor, maybe a community award or something like that.
Like Rookie of the Year would be good.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be perfect. Name that award after him and let the legacy live on.
Yeah, it's just a crazy time. Like I said, the last thing that you could imagine happening to some of these players so young and that have so much talent and just raw natural talent. I know we're spending a little bit. We went a little bit over the timer, but this is definitely one of those situations where you can't really spend enough time on. I'm going to miss watching him play. He's crazy talent. I'm actually going to update my next photo because I just realized what the topic we're going to be talking about has nothing to do with the photo that I posted on there. But let's go ahead and cut to our next topic. And this, if you guys didn't know, Pharaoh did play for 100 Thieves as well. But speaking of 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves has officially launched their branding for their LA spot called the LA Thieves. Very fitting, very good. Much wow. I love it, actually. Very fitting for the
It's
LA.
So clean. Such a clean looking logo.
It's so good. The merch is going to be so good, and I won't be able to afford any of it, and I won't be on the internet at the time that it drops. I want it all, but I can't have it all. It's okay. Maybe I'll buy some new Seattle merch if they ever release it. But so far, LA Thieves consists of TJ, Kenny, Slasher, and then Draza as their substitute. So they actually haven't announced their fourth yet. Oh my gosh. I'll think of his name later, but they already have their GM. He was a Mud Dog. He was the GM for the LA Optic, but he was also the GM for LA for 100 Thieves before LA Thieves, so back in Black Ops 4, and he's also was the GM for building their Fortnite team. So Mud Dog as a GM, really good hands. I think LA Thieves is hopefully going to be a successful team. I would like to see Nate Shot come back and find success. Hopefully he loses in the finals at the hands of Seattle, but that doesn't tweet. But LA Thieves branding looks clean, super clean.
I don't know that any of this honestly is a surprise whatsoever. As soon as the rumor mill started spinning, as soon as we knew Hex was getting back on board and was able to get Optic, like this was eventually going to happen. I know that like with it being the first season of the CDL and with the actual like buying into a franchise being so expensive, we know that like fans were clamoring for it. Like you said, like you want this merch. You wanted Nate Shot, you wanted 100 Thieves, you wanted it,
The
and
content.
now it's here.
Ooh.
Yes, the content is going to be second to none. I think it's going to do wonders. How much more viewership will it bring in? I don't know.
A lot.
If it'll really spike that much. I mean, really, do you think that it's going to spike that much more?
I don't think it will spike that much more, but I think fans from other esports will look at it as like a legitimate thing because with the rebranding of a lot of these esports organizations, it was kind of hard to find like cross people watching one esport and then watching Call of Duty, but I think LA Thieves still having that 100 Thieves branding, and obviously FaZe and then Optic with the branding, but I think this kind of perfects the Holy Trinity. Now the next move that we need to see is Chicago rebrand to Optic. I know a lot of people like the Huntsman brand and the Huntsman logo, but I think it's just right for it to be Optic.
I'm gonna remember everything you just said there, and I have a topic later on that I'm gonna spin this back around 180 back on you. So
no, you're gonna tell me I'm wrong. We don't need to do this.
Very excited to get your input as a 100 Thieves fan. Very excited.
All right. We'll hop into this next one. Talk to me about this because I do not know much about this next topic.
This is something if people are unaware of, this is absolutely huge news. For anybody that hasn't heard, it was announced a few weeks back. Guild Esports, which is a new franchise, a new team that's just starting up, backed by David Beckham, world famous soccer personality or football talent, whichever you prefer, whichever end of the island you're on.
World famous footballer.
World famous footballer. So they already announced like they're getting into Rocket League, they're getting into FIFA, they're getting into a bunch of other stuff. The team is just forming, but more importantly, this shows how much this organization is actually pay attention. They have brought in Thorin, who is one of the longest running esports personalities, journalists across Counter-Strike specifically, but also does League of Legends, does tons of stuff. He's been all over. He's been over E-League and tons of other different functions of like covering news and stuff like that. They brought him on board as a consultant to help form their new Counter-Strike team. Now, the reason this is interesting is, like I said, one, if you are a Counter-Strike fan, you know who Thorin is, which you know that this team means business. They are here. They want to scout and recruit the best team possible. They are here to win. But more importantly, if you are not a fan of esports, if you are following David Beckham, or if any of the other interests of the team, the capacity they're forming interests you, now you're going to get more viewership into all of the games they're participating in, specifically Counter-Strike, because this team should be a banger right off the bat. Having a consultant like Thorin on board, this is ridiculous.
This is the second footballer that has shown interest in Counter-Strike, because a couple weeks ago we talked about Neymar. Neymar was streaming Counter-Strike as the fastest growing Twitch streamer. So I think it's super interesting that these retired football players, well, Neymar's not retired, but Beckham as a retired footballer is showing interest in esports. Obviously, Rocket League and FIFA was definitely like, okay, yeah, you're going to compete in these. But another footballer showing interest in Counter-Strike. And you have a lot of footballers that are actually around this age. Ronaldo talks to retirement in the next 5 years. It doesn't seem, I mean, it seems like a long time, but it's not. You have Messi going to retire. Ibrahimovic is turning 40. So a lot of these older football players are going to be retiring soon, and I think they're going to be looking to invest some of their money. I think it's interesting to see some of them already, even some that aren't retired, invested into esports. I think that proves that esports is kind of like here to stay, and a powerhouse like David Beckham with all the fandom that this player has all around the world, whether it's the United States, in Europe, in Asia, just everywhere, just a massive star starting up a team like this, I think, and showing that they are going to be here to win and they're going to be putting together a solid team. I think that's awesome. I think it's going to be provide an interesting space for us all to watch.
I think so long as it's not a repeat of Echo Fox like we saw before with Rick Fox, I think this team should do great. But we have seen sports personalities cross over into esports, and it hasn't transcribed so well. So
Well,
hopefully
the whole
they're
Echo
off to a good
Fox
start.
thing was a little bit out of the actual
There was a
NBA
lot of
stars' hands.
extenuating factors with Echo
Yeah.
Fox.
Well, there was one specific factor that just wouldn't go away. But I honestly believe I don't think that situation was Rick Fox's bad. I think it might have been.
I don't think so.
It might have been on the other side of things, on the more east or on the more business side. But let's go ahead. That's a topic for another day. That's a whole discussion piece.
Yeah, the next topic I wanted to bring up was ESL. We've talked about they're building their new studio. They've also went a little further in depth on their new what they refer to as their game management department. Now, one of the things that I've had, behind closed door meetings, not specifically with ESL but other companies, is how do you keep fans engaged year round? We just saw Worlds from League of Legends. Their season has wrapped up. We just saw Overwatch League just wrapped up. How do you keep these fans engaged? So ESL has developed this new, it's called the Game Management Department, and their whole goal is to create content outside of specific gaming and events. So they want to create year-round content that keeps fans engaged while also helping propel new viewership into the upcoming leagues and events. So, for instance, like with Counter-Strike, a lot of people who have been watching have kind of picked up on the personalities of the players, or maybe they follow them on Twitter or watch their Twitch stream or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But the aim of this new game management department is to specifically help bring new fans in and also shine a light on what happens outside of the tournament as well.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of I don't know if you've ever watched the documentaries that Valve has put together for the International. Huge fans of those because they show what happens behind the scenes. They show the players communicating. They show actual in-game coaching that you wouldn't otherwise hear.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what kind of content comes out of this.
I think this is a huge step because I feel like there's a big misconception right now on what it is to work in the esports realm, and I feel like the more stuff that you show behind the scenes makes it so it's less black and white, and it provides gray areas for people because there are people that aren't the best at playing games, and I think they'll finally get in depth and be able to see what actually goes on behind the scenes and what's actually needed to be able to create a successful esports organization or even run a successful tournament. And I think it's going to provide not only the entertainment part, but maybe even the knowledge of like expanding people's minds into the actual esports space. Because people just kind of see it as you're a player, you're a commentator, or you're not anything. And I feel like this will dive more into how the other occupants work in the space. You'll see more of the coaches. You'll see probably even more of the production crew. You'll see more of maybe even the development crew. I would like to see them dive into different sections and not. I mean, obviously follow the players. That's where your base entertainment is. That's where your following is. But I'm excited to see more esports content. Period. I think it's good. Oh, we got another one. All right, so, we're talking about 100 Thieves a lot, and this topic came up, and just Call of Duty in general a lot. But this topic came up as well. 100 Thieves have also signed Tommy as their Warzone esports player. So I don't want to talk about Tommy. Tommy's a great player. He was a part of the London Royal Ravens. I don't want to talk about 100 Thieves. I want to talk about Warzone as an esport and what the viability is here and what's actually starting to mold. I have the feeling that the CDL is going to be diving a little bit into Warzone as well. They did some Warzone games for the CDL in between. It was like the first thing on Sunday, so it didn't hop into the championship matches right away. They did a full Warzone lobby with all CDL personalities and professionals, and they played for money. I think it was like 10K or 20K. Chump change. It's half. That's half. That's half of a CDL weekend. Anyway, I'm pretty interested to see how Warzone is going to work as the esport. I would like to see some kind of spectator mode available, and I would like to see. I feel like Fortnite kind of messed up because they didn't come out with custom lobbies at first. I feel like what Warzone kind of needs to do. Okay, this is the discussion piece. Is how is Warzone gonna work as an esport? Warzone could easily work as an esport on the CDL level if they host their custom lobbies, but I think the foundation of the esport is below that, and you got to look at the organizers who are willing to host them for free on their own time. So I think giving access or allowing the game to have custom lobbies in Warzone out the gate when you have this big update in December 10th, that's when Warzone and Cold War are going to combine. I think you need to release a custom lobby so people can host their own lobbies of Warzone. I feel like that's where most Battle Royale esports die, is because you only go through the developer to have a tournament. You need to have something below that so people can play and practice and have more entertainment value below the actual professional level. That's what I believe will make it succeed. What do you think?
I think first and foremost, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the rampant cheating that we have seen within Warzone. We have to see a lockdown on that. First and foremost. That's the big one, you know.
Yeah.
That's I'm seeing more and more content creators where they're teaming with someone who is cheating just to get views and to get popularity, and it's whatever. That's a whole other topic. I think what you just mentioned about having access to private servers or hosting like esports servers versus regular servers, I think that there comes a big divide in the community. So being able to just hop on and jump in a solo or jump in a squads or whatever it may be and play, you are signing up for matches the same way that any other person is.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you start creating these private lobbies, then you create a ceiling. So you have all of the normal player base, you know, and then you work your way up the pyramid. Then you have those that want to play competitively or play and, you know, maybe get to the professional esports level. And then you have the pros themselves. So I don't agree with just hosting separate servers that are invite only or password protected. You know, if it's a tournament, then yes, that makes sense. But in general, you're going to cut off the legs of the community right then and there, because the pros are getting better because they're playing with the pros. They're playing in these private servers.
That's true.
Whereas the general public, if they can't get touched to those, then there's no way that they're going to be able to compete with them. So
yeah, I'm going to counter your argument real quick. I'm going to counter your argument real quick. If it's not a tournament, hosting an actual custom lobby in Warzone is going to be a nightmare, because you're going to need 100 pros to play in this in order to have a custom lobby. And there's no way midday you're going to have your pros practicing on custom lobbies, because a lot of your content creators and a lot of your pros are farming these noobs in Warzone for content. So I don't think that's necessarily an issue, but I think the only way you're going to sustain a healthy esport is allowing a grassroots community to step in. We can't be too reliant on the developer to host tournaments for us. I feel like that's where Halo's in danger.
100%. I look primarily, just because this is a battle royale, I look at previously what PUBG did. PUBG had their own professional league. They had teams, they scouted players, the whole 9 yards. But specifically, and the only reason I know of this is because I have experience dealing with it, with Esports Arena in Las Vegas, in the Luxor, they started hosting PUBG events on Monday nights. It was open to all the locals, anybody that was staying at the casino, you could come in and you could enter into the event. They had access to their own private server. Now, granted, that's more of a different case because they were a physical location, but maybe there needs to be some kind of ranking for online. You know, you can't play in this custom server for professional until you hit this rank, or there has to be some parameter that you can enter into it, because I agree with that as well. You have no way of ensuring the integrity of any of these pros competing. They could get 80 kills in a single match just because they dropped in a good server versus somebody else that got bumped in with higher ranked players. So it's a very tricky tightrope that Warzone has to walk. Obviously, I think it has a future, but there's a lot of kinks and a lot of organization that has to go into it beforehand.
So you just mentioned ranking.
I did.
Oh.
Almost as a segue.
Oh! You know I love my discussion pieces. Gosh dang it. And I have another one for you. It is ranking systems. Okay, so Call of Duty came out and they said their prestige system is back. If you do not know, they got rid of their prestige system this last year. You rank up to 155. It stops when the new battle pass comes out. It resets you down to 55, and you go back up to 155. Everyone got kind of mad because it got rid of prestiging. Prestiging is you get to 1 to 155, and then once you get to 155, you can choose to restart your rank. You lose all of your weapons. You keep the weapon progression. You keep one weapon every time you prestige, and then you rank up to 155 again. So basically, when you get to 155 and you prestige, you have nothing. You have to even get to level 4 to make custom classes again. But in most games, you get one weapon token or one item token. You get to keep something later on. I usually keep like the best SMG or the best assault rifle. That's later in levels. My discussion piece that I'm bringing up right now is ranking system, hands down, next to the maps and the gameplay, is the third key to unlocking perfect gameplay. Is the third key to holding my interest in your game. I want good maps, I want good play, and gosh dang it, I want good ranking system, whether it's competitive or pubs. I think that will help the community and ease their minds into possibly skill-based matchmaking, because once you earn your prestige and once you start getting these higher levels, I think seeing people in your lobby with the same type of level rather than KD it will go a long way. I would rather see people, like if I was second prestige, I would rather see second prestige players in my lobby than people with the same KD. Because those second prestige players might not be as good as me, but I think it gets rid of the argument of skill-based matchmaking. I think matching players with the amount of time played in a social lobby is a lot more beneficial. It's going to keep my interest because I'm going to prove to the other people in my lobby that I'm better than you even though we're the same rank. So I think it keeps competitiveness at an all-time high, and it's going to pique my interest in your game a lot more with a solid ranking system.
I have a very weird take on this, but I think that's from basically from where I came from. Okay, like I see it's working already. With
Back
this.
in my day,
coming from more of a PC background, like I look at Call of Duty 4 on PC. Now,
fire.
There was prestiging and there was unlocking and there was all of this. We had all that, right? But then the community came out with the Pro Mod. And by loading up Pro Mod, everybody was the same prestige, everybody was the same level, all the same weapon unlocks, everything was there. You didn't have to worry about anything. And that the whole purpose was so that somebody who wanted to play competitive didn't have to grind unnecessarily just to be able to jump into a game with somebody else or to jump online.
Yeah.
I like ranking primarily because it helps keep the lifeblood of the game going. I don't know about I don't understand about like losing guns or losing stats or perks or things like that. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that does create a lot more replay value. You just by getting on, and once you hit max level or you're playing in these professional servers or leagues or whatever it may be, you're going to burn out a lot faster. So by resetting the ranking system and doing it as a seasons, as we're seeing more and more now, like I look at the only game I'm really playing right now is Fall Guys. Fall Guys Season 1,
Banger
I got
music,
up to level 40. Yes, really good music.
Every time a level starts, it makes me freak out.
Well, I went to level 40 just because I wanted to. I was like, I'm gonna play this game to hit level 40, and then Season 2 hit, and you know what? Guess what level I am right now?
What level are you?
I'm like 12. I'm 11 or 12 right now. There's like 28 or 27 more days left in the season. But the only reason I want to go back to play it is because I want to hit level 40 again. I want to be able to
replay value. Here's the thing. I hit level 155 in Call of Duty this last year so fast. And once you get there, you're stuck there for the rest of the season.
That's it. You plateau.
Right. But with prestiging and this type of level system, once I hit that level 40 or 155, I can then choose to go back to level 1, keep one item that I earned so dearly with me every time, and have to earn everything again. replay value, replay value, replay value. That's all it provides, and that's all I want. I want a reason to get on and be like, I'm gonna rank up so hard today. I want to wake up at 6 in the morning, god damn it. I want to scoot up in my chair. I want to get this close to my screen just to get to level 155 again. I'm sick of leaning back, saying I'm 155 already, putting my hand behind my head with my comfortable KD, and stomping on kids I don't care about. Gosh dang it, I want the prestige. I want some cool medals. I want some good skins from it. Let's just move on, dude. I agree with you, but replay value, gosh dang it.
Did you go to the school of playing FPS by Fear itself?
Yeah.
Remember that Halo player?
Yeah, I do.
He'd play like this close.
This was his face cam. Every MLG event, dude.
Your point of view is the monitor he's playing on.
Yeah. All right. I already started the timer, so you need to talk about your next topic. Gosh dang it.
Okay, so last week we talked about the infamous tweet
My
from
name's
Hastro
Hastro.
and Team Envy.
Blah, 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 blah.
It seems, at least at this point, it seems like in hindsight, this was definitely something he did more just to kind of get a rise out of everybody. So Team Envious, from last week, we're like, I want a winning team, and I don't want to be a team that makes you watch a video or sells you a hoodie. I want you to have a winning experience, and I want you to be a part of this team and be dedicated and be a part of this. Well, they are on a hell of a roll since then. They have announced new merchandise. They have announced Post Malone is officially a part of their team as an investor.
See you on TV.
And more importantly, their Valorant team actually has made it. They've secured their spot in the first main event for Valorant, actually beating out 100 Thieves.
Who's that?
And one of their they beat them out one of the games 13-1.
Ooh.
In the finals.
It's a good thing Hastro builds winning teams. Gosh dang it.
Exactly. Thank you. So here's the question. If you're a fan of Post Malone and you see him tweet, hey, I'm part of this esports organization, right?
I'm a fan.
And then you go on and you're watching this event and you're seeing them play 100 Thieves. Are you going to think highly of 100 Thieves right now? Is that going to bring in new viewership?
Yes! Do you know why? Because I can go to their freaking YouTube and watch 6,000 IQ plays on Among Us. That has nothing to do with Valorant.
I'm just saying. From the conversation earlier, we were talking about, how are we able, 100 Thieves, because of the brand, because of, all this clout they have, they're going to bring in more viewership, and it's going to be it's the golden age of esports.
It is, dude.
They have the fresh logo for CDL, for their new team, but if they can't get past Envy,
there's only one thing.
Number,
hey, there's only one thing fresher than a 100 Thieves hoodie, and that's an LFTG hoodie, okay? Go to LFTGofficial.com, main page, click on that hoodie.
Listen, I want to be a member of a winning team.
I just want nice hoodies, dude. You and I are on the opposite spectrum on this. I'm down to have fun, but gosh dang it, I want a hoodie. All right, we got another minute 54 on this. All right, first of all, Post Malone's fire.
Let me give the question to you. With all of the drama that Hastro created last week by saying I build winning teams and I'm not here just to sell you hoodies, what do you, from last week to now, what do you think?
Okay, from last week to now, I respect the move hands down. And do you want to know why? Because they're doing both. And this is what I talked about last week. If you can find a combination where you're making good content, you are selling your hoodies, and you are winning, you're maximizing your profit. Because selling hoodies and people watching your freaking YouTube videos is what's going to buy you the best team in the game you want to compete in. That's what's gonna let you win. Money is winning. Let's be real. Look at the teams in the top 3 of the CDL. Look at the teams in the top 3. You have Envy, you have FaZe, and you have Chicago Huntsmen. The 3 most wealthiest teams in the Call of Duty League took top 3. Is that surprising to you? No, because all three of those teams make content, all three of those teams sell hoodies, and all three of those teams buy the best team with those first two factors, and we win. They win games. Like, that's just facts. That's facts.
I just got to bring up Echo Fox again. Seemingly, they had the most money of any
But what
team.
did they do in the fighting game community? What did they do in the fighting game community? They won.
They did major things in the fighting game community.
Yeah,
I just think
10
that
people in the fighting community that won 10 majors in one weekend. Like,
money will secure you the best players and the best content creators and the best branding,
but not the best
but at the
employees.
end of the day, yeah, exactly.
Watch who you hire. Watch who you hire.
That's the cautionary tale.
Yes, watch who you hire, but make the content, sell your hoodies. All right, let's get into this next one, dude. I got heated after that last one. My face is a little red right now, dude. I got mad. There's one thing Mike knows how to make me do, and it's get mad.
Well, speaking of getting mad,
dude,
this one was a huge blow.
Dude,
being personal friends, seeing tweet out earlier this week that ESPN Esports, in a mass series of layoffs, has virtually been shut down. So Tish Photos and Jacob Wolf and Fion and all these legendary, all these legendary esports journalists who literally for the past 5 years have built this brand and built this coverage team and doing wonders in the world of legitimizing our little corner that we call esports, in the world of professional sports. We're all informed that they are being let go. Their contracts are good until the end of the year, so a month and a half, call it 2 months, and they're all being let go. We also found out earlier today from Jacob Wolf that the League of Legends Roster Mania show that they helped produce, it was canceled. It was supposed to be next week. It's here's a funny anecdote. I was a part of a website back in the early 2000s helping provide coverage for Quake events called GotFrag. GotFrag's tagline was actually the ESPN of video games.
Yes, it was.
ESPN finally comes around and says, you know what? We're going to do esports too. So now they are legitimately the ESPN of video games. ESPN Esports. 5 years, hell of a ride. Where did it get us?
Nowhere, dude.
None the better. None the better.
Okay, here's the thing. This hurts a lot because I can no longer tell 50-year-old moms to prove their son or daughter right to go to espn.com/esports that there's a page there, because this page is going away in a hot 3 months. So what's going to fill the void? Oh, I already know what's going to fill the void, dude. This talk show right here, dude. Come right here.
I would like to think so.
We'll be the ESPN Esports. No, it does hurt a lot. It does sting because it does lose us a lot of recognition from the traditional sports community. But I also do think this year we've made a lot of strides with the traditional sports community. Players like Neymar, footballer, and then footballer Beckham, coming in. Dude, these NBA stars, they're building organizations, but these footballers, man, the actual true world superstars are starting to step in, and they're starting to create something great. Dude, if Ronaldo steps in and he creates something, so just out of curiosity, me and my brother, we researched on who's the most followed person in social media, and Ronaldo on every single social media was top 5 followed. The only person on every social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, top 5 followed on each one of them. So if someone like that steps in, I feel like in our heads we think this delegitimizes us, but I think there's a lot of people stepping up to the plate right now that I don't think it delegitimizes. I think the weird thing is there's always been this chase for legitimization. I don't understand. Like, even we go back as far as like the CPL, like the early, late 1990s, early 2000s, the Cyber Athletic Professional League. We were called cyber athletes for playing video games. It wasn't really coined esports until the mid 2000s. And literally the only reason esports is even a term is to try and help bring people from traditional sports
into this world of competitive video games.
Do you think this is going to stop? Do you think this is going to stop any form of production on ESPN for esports? Period.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Here's the thing. It's going to bring viewership. It's going to bring clicks. It's going to breed reads.
Maybe this is a way to mold it into ESPN as a whole. Maybe they're going to use some of their traditional staff.
Not from what I. Here's the unfortunate thing. If they're going to use their traditional staff, they should have just said, you know what, we're disbanding ESPN Esports, and now it's just all under the same hood. I don't think that's the case, especially from seeing from a lot of these people, especially like the interactions on Twitter and talking about, well, I guess it's time to find a new home. You know, we look at like Esports Talk and The Score, and like there's already these huge organizations out there covering news.
Fire.
Yeah, Score is super great. I love.
They do a lot of good research, but every now and then they pronounce a name wrong, and it makes me infuriated.
Oh, I'm guilty of that too. Are you kidding me? In a world where you get to make up your own name, your own competitive name. Like, and today, little X, big X, score, ZZ.
Hashtag 42069. Yeah. No, I do get where you're coming from. I don't think it delegitimizes us in any way. I do think I do think it is a hit for a little kid explaining to their parents what esports is, because I think this is a way for a more traditional sports-minded human being to be exposed to esports and maybe, you know, even talk to their kid about it, especially now because we're very slowly trickling into this generation of the parents are the ones that are aware now and are going to be willing to help extend a helping hand to, you know, future esports stars, even people wanting to get interested in the space. I feel like that is where it's going to hurt, but I think we're going to be okay because we have plenty of outlets right now that are good.
Yeah. And I think esports has always been esports, and that's where it'll be. You'll always have HLTV. You're going to have Liquidpedia. You're going to have sources out there that are going to be doing news coverage. And, you know, individuals as well, too, that are always – nothing's going to really go away. It's just the legitimization of ESPN is covering it. Still sucks. Still sucks to have friends literally tell you, like, hey, I'm getting fired at the end of the year. Losing my job.
Hey, you know, LFTG, maybe we can build something for them. Keep them in mind. But we're going to talk about some upcoming events. All right, I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to go first because I didn't really have an upcoming event.
That's fine.
I do want to recap an event, but I'm not going to
Since we're being so full transparent, I'm literally my event that I wanted to pick this week to kind of shed some light on is the Rainbow Six North America November Major Finals. I have not been this year really following along with the Rainbow Six community. There's just been so much other stuff going on. Like Rainbow Six, obviously, huge game, huge following, but specifically like with all the Counter-Strike stuff that's going on, and now with all the other games and everything that's happening, I'm excited to tune in. You know, I've really been missing the majors, but I wanted to kind of shine some light. I'm curious what the viewership looks like, primarily just from the standpoint of I haven't tuned into a while, and it just seems like viewership for everything has kind of gone up. So again, this is the North America, so I'm really rooting for Team Oxygen, previously Team Reciprocity, and also Space Station Gaming.
Love Team Rec.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Reciprocity.
Reciprocity was a great brand.
That was a great brand too. That was another team that literally in a weekend would take 3 games. You know, it'd be something like Punk would win in fighting games. You know, the Rainbow Six team would do really well, and then their Halo team or whatever it may be. You know,
their Halo team was fire. Ola,
yeah, their Halo team was super good,
and whoever else was on it.
So that is happening. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Rainbow Six. You can check it out over on Twitch. Like I said, there's only 4 teams left, so there's only a handful of matches. I'm personally rooting for Team Oxygen and Space Station Gaming, but TSM has also been playing really, really well this year as well too. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
All right. Well, I want to take this moment and talk about not necessarily what is going to be happening next, but I'm going to think about what has already happened, I want to thank some people that have played in our current Halo 5 2v2 series. We actually had an awesome turnout. We had 20 plus teams in our last chance qualifier. We had our top 8 was great. So I want to just recap the top 8. At 7th place, you had Johan running, and then the team of Luffy and Guardians. 5th place, you had the team of Roses, Tusk, and the team of Thin and Exo. So some great teams already, even at 7th place. This was teams that had to qualify, or top 8 teams that qualified through 3 events. Top 2, then top 4. 4th place, which barely placed inside the money, was Gold Star BR and Scary. They took home a solid $55. Can you believe that, Mike? And then Falcated and Bound, I believe they took home 110. And then Druck, Soul Snipe, took home around 310. And then you had Trippy and Renegade taking home 1st place. Almost getting 3-0'd in finals. Had a reverse sweep in grands. They played Druck and Soul Snipe in round 2. Beat them 2-0. But Trippy and Renegade ended up closing it out with the reverse sweep. Good stuff there. I think lost 3 maps. Yeah, they lost 3 maps. And Druck and Soul Snipe lost 5. So good stuff by them. I just want to shout out to that last event. We had some good viewership, 20 plus during the finals. Trippy and Renegade, a player from Team Envy, a player from C9. Got definitely taken to the edge of their seats. You know, the reverse sweep was nuts. But we're going to go ahead and close it out. I asked for some questions in the chat. No one typed any questions, you slackers, dude.
I got one.
What's your question, dude?
Yubuza asked, not sure if you've answered it, but do you think splitting the COD player base between Warzone and BO is going to be a problem?
Yes. This is the issue.
Really?
This is the issue we're having with Halo right now. I feel keeping your competitive community and your viewers into one area. Here's the issue. Okay, are you ready for this? This is sensitive. This is sensitive. Sensitive info.
I'm ready for your take because I feel like I have the complete opposite.
Okay. I feel like the issue that could be had is actually you might be right. You might be right.
Let me give you my take.
Yeah, give me your take and I'll argue it for no reason.
So the Call of Duty franchise has been around for so long that players that want to stick to that competitive mentality, that grew up watching MLG, you know, playing in all these competitive events, they want to play in that same format. Just because Call of Duty now has a battle royale mode, I think that caters to a different audience. I think there is some crossover, but somebody who's like, I don't think Crim6 isn't going to wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, guys, I don't want to play traditional COD anymore. I really want to play Warzone. You know, I feel like that's where the future is. I don't think that's the case. I think Warzone brings in more players and more viewers from more other battle royales, and traditional Call of Duty is always going to be in that sector. If you play traditional Call of Duty and that's what you want to stick to, you want that hot, fast multiplayer action, that's where you're going to be. I don't think that it's going to steal one away from the other.
Okay. All right. So, all right, you came up with my rebuttal. So if Crim6 is getting more viewers streaming Warzone than he is multiplayer, or the other way around, he's going to be more enticed or less enticed to play the other. I think what we need to do as a community to grow your esport, we need to focus on one area, get as many people's eyes exposed to it as you possibly can, and grow your viewership from there. The one good thing is about Warzone 2 multiplayer is you do that in some certain light, because you can promote Warzone. Oh, I'm a fan of Warzone, I'm going to watch this. But I think as far as competitive goes, you need to have one true competitive area and one true focus on competitive. Because if I'm a fan of LA Thieves or Seattle Surge, just kidding. Screw you, LA Thieves. I'm a fan of Seattle Surge. If I'm a fan of Seattle Surge, I want to know.
The truth comes out.
I want to know where is my team playing? And if they're playing Warzone and I don't know about the multiplayer team, I'm doing a disservice to the multiplayer team. And if I know about the multiplayer team and I don't know about the Warzone team, I'm doing a disservice to Warzone. I think what we need to do is we need to have one focus and one player base, not divide our community at all. And Booza mentioned right after that, not to mention the different engines. It is going to be a different game because the Warzone engine is going to be separate from the Black Ops Cold War engine. I think that also could be a possible mistake that is made. You can't.
That's a huge factor. That's a huge factor. You're talking about different gun physics. You're talking about different actual move attributes. You're talking about literally stepping out from playing one completely different game to another.
You can't have something with two different engines because let's say the multiplayer is the best multiplayer that's released since Black Ops 2, or even better than Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is my gold standard. If it's better, if the multiplayer is so good and you have something connected to the multiplayer that's Warzone that's on a lesser engine, you now diminish the value of your multiplayer because you're going to have people focusing on this free part of this game that is not as good as the part that people have paid for, and it's going to entice less people to actually pay for the game. I think there's risk. Both of these games need to be at par with each other, and I can already tell you, in my opinion, the physics engine and the gunplay is better in Black Ops Cold War than it is in Modern Warfare. It's more balanced. It's more balanced plus fair. It's more fun and entertaining to be in a gunfight in Cold War than it is to be in a gunfight in Modern Warfare. I think this could be a potential mistake by Activision, not necessarily by the decision by the competitive community, but by Activision to separate these two games completely. And if they're going to, this is my last breath, and I'm going to say, if they're going to separate these communities, please get Infinity Ward, please Activision, give Infinity Ward Warzone, and just let Treyarch handle multiplayer, and just see what sparks fly. Please.
Let me introduce a third party here.
No.
Do you feel that by having Call of Duty Mobile, that cannibalizes any Cold War players?
No. I'm okay with Call of Duty Mobile because it's a casual way to introduce people to Call of Duty as a title.
Every single Call of Duty Mobile Pro that I've seen out there has been doing nothing but complaining about how their prize pot for the World Championships is only $1 million. I feel like there is, but here's the thing.
That's fine. Go play Call of Duty. Then go play real Call of Duty. If you do not like the $1 million prize purse you got in Call of Duty Mobile, there's $4 million in the CDL that you can go play for. Go prove your skill. Stop selling yourself as a friggin' mobile gamer. Stop complaining about $1 million and go play the real Call of Duty that everyone's actually friggin' playing. Holy moly, dude. You're killing me right now.
I have to say this. I'm not the biggest mobile gamer, but when you're talking about Call of Duty Mobile,
it's heat.
Call of Duty Mobile makes
fire.
Bank.
Dude, it's so good. It's actually such a good game.
$1 million is not even. I don't even say it's like a 30 seconds of how much money they're making off of Call of Duty Mobile for $1 million prize pot. $1 million is
huge. Do you know why? Do you know why, though? Do you know why they gave him $1 million?
Why?
Because they want you to They want you to focus on the CDL, on their actual supported competitive mode to go play the game. COD Mobile is here. COD Mobile's heat, by the way. Best mobile game, hands down. I wish the next Call of Duty game is just like COD Mobile. Swear to goodness. Swear to all of goodness. But that's not where your competitive scene's at. And if you're a COD Mobile player and you're complaining about $1 million prize purse, there is a whole Call of Duty community that makes 5 times more than you. 5 times. And they're getting paid salary, and more people are watching, and more people aren't memeing about you. Just go play Call of Duty. Buy the game. Play on your PC.
Here's a secondary question, because you would know more so than I do. Are they actually putting CDL advertisements in COD Mobile. Like when you load up the game, does it say, "Hey, watch this weekend is the World Championship"?
Yes.
Hey, don't forget Cold War is coming out. Okay.
Yes. So yes, Call of Duty Mobile is a free advertising platform. 1, to make money off of skins, and 2, to promote their actual game. But it's a banger.
That apparently isn't
I will say it's a banger.
Cannibalizing players from
cannibalizing, dude. You're complaining about $1 million. Harlot says I'm going to become a COD Mobile kid. COD Mobile is heat. It's the best, hands down, the best free-to-play game, hands down. It looks. Have you played it, Mike? No. Do not give me an excuse. Have you played it?
We were working a Pokemon Regionals event together. You told me to download it. I downloaded it. I played 2 matches of it, and I never touched it again.
It's heat though, visually, and it runs smooth, right?
It was. I was honestly very surprised. Yes. I was very surprised, but I also have the Razer phone.
Dude, this guy's flexing on me, dude. I have the Razer phone built by gamers for gamers.
Don't play games on it. Don't buy gamers or Word documents.
I know he messages me on Facebook. That's about what he uses.
Normal phone to me.
All right, dude, you've gotten me heated.
You're good. Nerdtron64 asks, I have a question. Why is Mike's beard so fresh? Can you answer that one for me?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
A topic you can't get heated at.
All right. Why is Mike's beard so fresh? I'm sweating right now. It's like, let me get it on me. All right. Mike's beard so fresh is because his ancestors were painted by gods to be barbarians. However, Mike is a cuddly, fluffy teddy bear, so you might have the appearance of a freshly cut barbarian, but you just want to hug him and just love him. And that's why his beard's so freaking fresh, dude.
I would have to go with head and shoulders.
Knees and toes, head, shoulder, knees.
That's it. Nailed it.
All right. Anyone have any last questions? I think we might be on a delay. We're on a 20-second delay. I'll ask some questions in the chat.
Yeah, why is COD Mobile Champs only $1 million prize pool?
Dude, only? We were talking about how cool. Okay, dude, we were talking about how sick it was that Valorant hosted like a $200,000 tournament. Wow. But COD Mobile has a and you're complaining? Oh, no.
I see it, though. That's the thing. I see it. I understand the complaint there. I understand specifically. Mobile gaming is just never, it's just catching the flack of not being a legitimate game. You said it yourself. I've said it myself.
It's a mobile game, man. You can't even put...
I understand, but you also have, what was it? Shadowverse, which is a mobile game. It's a card game. You know, $1 million prize.
Raid Shadow Legends. Download Raid Shadow Legends.
I'm just saying, here's the thing. We know mobile games make tons of money.
Yes.
We know that the COD franchise makes tons of money.
Yes.
It's just, where is it being appropriated? That's the question.
If these COD mobile kids are using controller, they're frauds. I'm calling it.
Oh, I've seen that too.
They're frauds,
I've seen
dude.
videos. I had 2 years ago, there was a Counter-Strike event that I went to in London, and I hung out with the event organizer. I ended up actually talking with him ahead of time, and I met up with him and his family, and his son at their kitchen table had his phone set up with an Xbox 360 controller so he could play Fortnite. He was playing Fortnite on his iPhone with an Xbox 360 controller.
He's just farming noobs.
Yeah. Well, Fortnite's a little different because it has all that cross-play, right? Do mobile players play it with PC and console?
You can turn it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can turn off crossplay. Same with COD.
I don't know.
All right, so it doesn't look like anybody else has any questions. I gifted a couple subs tonight. If you guys haven't subbed already, do it. Got some emotes coming your way. Our emotes are actually fire. I'll send you them, Mike. They're lit.
Yeah. I'll take a look.
One's a Halo reference, one's a COD reference.
Oh, wonder if I'll get them.
I think. Wait. Yeah, I did gift a sub to you. Dang it.
Well, Christmas came early. Appreciate the gift sub.
Christmas. All right. I gotta set up this real fast, and I'll do my famous outro.
Well, I just want to take a moment, say thanks once again for another amazing week. Always so much fun covering all the news and everything.
I'm getting more heated every week, dude.
I think we're finding better and better topics. I think the other thing too is we already know how one of another think, and so it's a matter of how do you prep it.
Trigger me, dude.
So when you were talking about 100 Thieves, and you're like, I'm gonna buy the hoodie and so much money, and then I'm like, oh, I'm talking about Indy later, and I'm gonna put the smackdown on them because they're a winning team. They're doing it. It's the best of both worlds.
Put it all together. It's the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana. So it's that time of night. You have some slow music fade in. Start a little bit later today. That's my B. We might start a little bit later every week now. That's also my B. We'll talk about it, me and Mike. Probably after this. 8:47 p.m. here in the Pacific. I want to thank everybody for coming out, showing their love, their support. Huge shout out to Pharaoh's family. R.I.P. Pharaoh. May you forever live in fame. I am Refresh, and this is
Mohawkmike.
And this has been a fantastic, ever so enjoyable and delicious podcast, and I'm glad to have shared the experience with you guys. We're going to go ahead and throw it to our transition screen. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.